author of Your Aesthetic Practice, and we've got a new approach to grow cosmetic revenues for plastic surgery practices. And in a nutshell, it's a patient attraction, conversion, retention system all built into one. And we do all of the marketing for you and all the work for you. So it's very easy on the practice to initiate this into their practice. So I invited Sharon Thompson of the Thompson Plastic Surgery Center of New Jersey to come on and talk about her own experience with this new strategy and how it's built her own practice. So Sharon, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me. It's great to be here, and I love to talk about the KiSS program. It's been working so great for us ever since we launched it.
I really appreciate your time. And I'm not going to take a ton of it, but because I know you run a busy practice, but can you just start out by saying, describe your practice?
Sure. Well, Dr. Thompson is a solo practitioner. He's been in practice for 20 years, and he had been in another practice for about 9 years, and then 11 years ago decided to go off on his own. Asked me, hey, can you help me open up a new practice? And I didn't know a whole lot about it, but I was very excited. And here we are 11 years later, and it's been wonderful.
You're in New Jersey. Is it a super competitive area of New Jersey?
It is. And not only are there a lot of other, plastic surgeons, dermatologists in our area, but there's also a lot of med spas, and, there's a lot of competition around us. But I think the most important thing is just to differentiate yourself, and be good to your patients. Get that patient retention, and then they keep coming back year after year and refer their family and friends, which is really what it's all about.
I say that all the time. Plastic surgeons always tell me, when we talk about competition, they always tell me, oh, I'm about the other plastic surgeons in their area, and it's just so much more than that, because a patient who wants to look good can now go to a plastic surgeon, a dermatologist, an internist, a med spa, and it goes on and on. So I'm glad you're realizing that, and you're doing something about it. So tell me, how did KiSS get on your radar? It's called the KiSS Rewards Club. How did that get on your radar, and what made you say yes to it?
Sure. So it's something that I had seen your emails about over time, and it always intrigued me. I've known about you for years since we opened up the practice. You were actually a really good help to me personally and to our office when we were opening the practice. As I said before, I didn't have any experience prior to 11 years ago when we opened. So reading your books and your CDs and scripts and all that stuff really helped me a lot. So I got your emails, and the KiSS Rewards program was really focused on patient retention and reaching out to those existing patients rather than throwing a big net out onto the internet or something more of a bigger advertising investment. This was not a break the bank investment, but it's made a lot of sense to me for so many reasons. And so I said, let's give it a try. And I'm glad that we did.
Thank you so much. And tell me this, how was the onboarding for you? Because a lot of the practices say, oh, I can't add anything else. The front desk is saturated. How was that for you?
Right. So that was a very simple process. I was very nervous about that too. But the team of yours that I worked with, everyone was very easy to work with. Got everything done. Any questions that I had, they were very responsive, got back to me right away. And it was very seamless and smooth. So I highly recommend, and don't, I think that people, practices shouldn't be afraid of the onboarding process, because that was very simple.
Great. Now, what benefits are you getting from the KiSS Rewards Club? And I know one of them you said, I love that it changed the conversation with my patients. Can you talk about that?
Yes, definitely. I'm sure all of practices get the same kinds of phone calls. Do you have any specials? What specials do you have? And it's not that we still don't have specials, but we've reduced the number of specials. We'd rather build value as opposed to offering discounts. That's what we would prefer to focus on, and this enables us to do that. So, so that conversation, if somebody calls, do you have any specials? You can go right into the conversation about KiSS Rewards, and it's great, and it's an easy way to say yes and just kind of, go into more detail about it. And people get excited about it. They love collecting things and then redeeming things. It just feels nice. People are really enjoying that.
That's exactly what the psychology was behind this. It's not your typical rewards program. It's more about collecting kisses, and that's another thing. It keeps you out of trouble. You're not doing any fee splitting. You're not giving anybody money for referrals, but it's literally every dollar equals a kiss, and then you collect kisses to then get free Botox fillers or lasers. And so typically this is for non-surgical procedures because the writing's on the wall. It is so competitive now and the market is so saturated that how are you going to enter this marketplace? By lowering your price. So then you have to deal with that in the marketplace. Well, then what do? Do you lower your price too, or do you add more value? And that's what you have such a step ahead of everybody else or in the area who's new and up and coming because you already have a patient list who knows, likes, and trusts you. So it's so logical to me. You can still do external marketing, but please, the easier, faster, cheaper way is to hang on to the patients you already spent a fortune to get in the first place. So
yeah, it was a natural fit for us. It really was.
Well, you also have very good customer service. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, wouldn't you say that's also super helpful? I can't work with a practice where they don't care about customer service. They have that one and done mentality, and you don't. You're a very friendly kind of practice. Was it always like that, or well, you are pretty friendly.
Yeah.
Did you have to learn that? Or?
It's always been like that. It's always been about relationships since the minute we opened the door, and even prior to that, because as I said, Dr. Thompson was in another practice for 9 years prior to opening this one, and a lot of his patients came over and followed him, which I thought was fantastic. We love that, and we welcome them, and and the same holds true with new patients that have come along. We get phone calls from, especially since we reopened after the pandemic closure and everything like that. A lot of patients from many, many years ago have surfaced, and that's been wonderful too. So we welcome new patients, existing patients, family, friends, but yes, it's all about relationship. Is not as opposed to the one and done. Definitely, that's not what we are about.
Well, one of the features is we are sending emails and social posts. We're doing all the marketing because here's the goal: to take a patient who likes you and turn them into a rabid fan. And too many practices assume, and we all know what that means, assume that their patients, of course they'll refer, of course they'll return. There's no of course anymore. You really have to have a strategy to build those golden handcuffs around a patient so they actually do talk about you on social, at a barbecue, when talking to a friend. You can't assume any of that because people are so busy today and so saturated with information that your marketing strategy is not on your plan. So the goal of KiSS was to get the patient or get the your patients to refer or Uber return and just step it all up. I'm sorry, my dog's barking. Sorry.
Yeah, we don't have a dog here.
Oh, you gotta love real time. Okay, we're just gonna whittle through and hopefully he stops soon. So Sharon, were there any benefits that? Oh, let me back up. Another thing KiSS does, here was another point, it was to reward your patients for good behavior, more or less, because that's what we all have been programmed to do, like get gold stars, so we give kisses. Have you noticed though, like what they say to you, things like, oh, I referred a friend to you now, or I posted you on social because I've noticed your numbers.
Absolutely, but someone, I believe got just recently, within the last week, received the email that came from, the program, not one that I sent. I still send monthly emails, but they're supplemented with the emails that come from the KiSS program. So a patient just received an email and thought, hey, I love it there. I can do a review. And it prompted her. And immediately, as soon as I got that notification, I went and I issued those KiSS rewards to her. And then she called, the next day and booked her appointment, which was wonderful, and she have been planning on coming anyway,
Mhm.
but this was just that little boost, that little extra, like, oh, hey, I can get a reward. And she got excited about it. So,
Well,
and it was her
oh, there you go. We send the birthday too. You get 100 kisses on your birthday.
That's right.
Psychologically, there's a thing about us completing things. So when we welcome somebody to the KISS program, we give them 100 kisses to start, and that compels them to want to get more kisses to get to the end result, which is like 1,000 kisses for Botox, 3,000 kisses for filler, 5,000 kisses for laser. And just a note, it's optional, but it's really for non-surgical procedures because that's what we were trying to grow. However, we have an element that you take advantage of, and they can get an automatic 1,000 kisses, which equals one area of Botox, if they have surgery, if they complete surgery. Has that been beneficial to you to like have that little carrot?
Yes, yes, I think so, because in some patients will come initially just for surgery. Others will start as injectable patients and then work their way to surgery, and others the other way around. And some just come for surgery and that's it. But this allows them to then consider, oh, hey, wait, I have 1,000 kisses available to me. This is, let's say it's, a month or two after their surgery. Maybe I will get Botox. Maybe they've never had it before, but at least now they have more of an interest, or say, hey, let's give it a try. And then, they may continue and keep up with it. It's too soon for me to comment on that because it's, we're still in the new launch period, but I can see from conversations with patients that it is going to be something that's going to work really well for us and for them.
Absolutely. After doing this for 20 years, here is something I do know as a cosmetic patient. I am one, so I partake in this quite a bit, but somebody who wants to look good. Today, they wanted, let's say, a tummy tuck. Like today, that was their focus. Especially a female will then go on to the next body part that she has trouble with. The goal is
it happens all the time.
The goal is to keep them going up and down that ladder. Today it's a tummy tuck, tomorrow it's Botox, then we're off to a filler, now I need a bleph. It really is never ending. That's the part I love about our industry. We have an audience who has that vanity plug, that vanity thing in them, and that never ends, especially with the aging process, of course.
Yes, we have such a wide range of patients age-wise, patients who are doing, say, lip fillers and maybe a little bit of Botox. They're starting maybe in their late 20s, and then all the way up through 70s and even 80s, and everywhere in between. So there's, a treatment or a procedure that can help everyone in some way.
All right, that's terrific. And so really, like, the results that you have gotten have been fantastic. We've also had a social media piece for this, and it was so interesting because your social media, it depends on what your husband's doing, because he's really funny on social media, so he can get a lot of likes on his own, but we need more than that because he's not always around. So we provide a lot of social posts for you, and that has that's helped tremendously with your likes and your shares. Have you noticed that as well?
We mix it up. We don't do all just one kind of post. We like to mix it up, and incorporating the social media posts about the KiSS Rewards has really brought a lot of awareness and just kind of reinforcement about the program. And again, it's only been a few months, so I think it's only going to get more and more, well known about what it's all about. And it opens up conversation.
Right? It builds on itself, by the way. The longer we do this, the more referrals you'll get. I hope everyone's clear about this isn't just retaining patients. This is also let your patients bring your new patients to you via their friends. That's the easiest. Who's better to convert? An absolute stranger patient who doesn't know you from Adam, or that patient who says, Sarah recommended, or Sarah referred you to me, and she's just had great things to say about Dr. Thompson, so I want what she had, kind of thing.
Yeah. No, you're right. And then I say, thank you, and they get their KiSS Rewards, and then they get all excited about it. And they would refer people in the past, but now I see an increase in numbers.
That's the whole point. Anybody who would do it before will do it more, and anybody who
Right.
wasn't even thinking about doing it will now start doing it. That's the
Yeah,
whole
that's
point.
right.
So
Yes.
you know what? There's some of the objections are I already use the vendor rewards program, so why would I add this one? Can you just mention that or talk on that?
Yeah, sure. It's great. I just yesterday at a patient was checking out, and she had Brilliant Distinctions points, and she had KiSS rewards, and she was so happy at everything that she was saving. She had, I think, wow, she had a lot. She had about $220 worth of Brilliant Distinctions points,
Mm,
and then she had 100 free units of Botox. So it was like a holiday for her. She was very, very happy.
yeah.
So they work well together. It doesn't have to be exclusive, and it doesn't take much more time. You issue the Brilliant Distinctions points, you issue the KiSS rewards. It takes seconds.
Yeah.
It's not more than that.
And just a distinction between us and them, Brilliant Distinctions, a patient can use that at any practice, and our program, it can only be used at your practice.
That's
So
right.
we're
That's
trying to build
very
loyalty.
important. Yes,
Mhm.
very important.
Okay. Anything else you want to say about KiSS or in general, like marketing? Do you think it has decreased your advertising costs yet increased your results?
Yeah, I would say so. We haven't done an analysis yet because, again, it's a little bit early.
Mhm.
But we don't do a huge amount of other kinds of advertising. We did back in previous times. We had done some local commercials and things like that, streaming. But we haven't done that in since March.
Mhm.
And we still have a lot of things going on, a lot of referrals. So we
Mhm.
really haven't felt the change of not investing that way and investing this way. We were doing both before. So
Mhm.
we still, I think it's a very effective way of marketing. Maybe in the future we may go back to other things, but right now my focus is on marketing to our current patients, giving them the incentives through the KiSS rewards. And I'm excited to see after, at the end of the year, to see how successful. I read the reports that you send, and
Mhm.
that's another great thing I want to bring up.
Mhm.
That those monthly reports, so you can actually see. It's not just guessing. Oh yeah, we got this many calls, or oh yeah, I think this ad is working, or I think this billboard is working. This is really concrete because you can see exactly how many referrals, how many surgeries, how many Google reviews.
Reviews?
That's the word I'm looking for.
Mhm.
It's just everything is there, so it makes it really easy to see how it's working for each practice.
And
So I think
just to add to that, it's not just numbers, it's names. Like we are
yes,
tracking the heck out of this. We know who those Uber patients are, and we're telling you who, well, you know too, but we put it in writing and we're watching the patient's behavior. And that just tells
yes,
you so much about your practice, your customer service. Um, it's good intel, you know?
yeah, it is. It really is.
Yeah.
So
All
yeah,
right.
so I really recommend it, and I thank you for coming up with such a great idea
Thank you.
and sharing it.
I really appreciate having you as a partner because that's how I look at this. We are partnering to grow your cosmetic revenues, and the numbers are just going to keep getting better. So thanks, Sharon. I really
Okay,
appreciate it and have a great day.
thanks, you too.
Thank you.